Alright guys, I went back over everything, and as you can see, I did get the one tube off. I just had to get another little yank and it did come out. I'm going to zoom in on these. That brass, if I'm looking at it right, is supposed to be gray, Teflon coated. And you can see the wear and tear and the shininess on that lower one below it that looks gray but is starting to shine through as well. So that comes out. There's another little piece right there that comes out that goes in the bottom. That's part of what centers everything up. And as you can see, very dirty inside here. Everything was extremely dirty, so you know, this was due. So I got the one off. So now it's clean everything up and start reassembly. I'm not going to show the cleanup, guys. You know how to do it. Brake clean, air compressor. Make sure you get this as absolutely clean as possible. I don't see any scoring on the tube here. We're going to have to take a flashlight and peek down into the lower there. See if there's anything down there. And then we'll pick back up when we do the reassembly. The reassembly is pretty cool too, the way the guy did it. I don't know if I'm going to follow that same plan. I do have a seal installer. So we'll see how that all works out. All right. Stand by. All right, guys. We're back. We've done the cleanup. And I believe we've got everything clean enough to go back on here. Gonna do a couple of things. Get started. Get my Craftsman crappy chair. In the video I watched, the guy actually took this out. I don't know how he did it. I believe he brought it up through the top and took it out. He says these things usually are not. Oh, look at that. Still got a little bit of cleanup to do. These were very goopy and very gummy, so not surprised. Sprayed a lot of brake clean down these things, and apparently I did not do a good job. My oil was very black, very dirty. Everything was really black and dirty. And I just washed my hands to put all this stuff back together and just got a bunch of grease all over them again. Throw a lot more brake cleaner down there. I did do this once already. I sprayed a lot of brake cleaner up in here. Flush this out, flush these little things out. But still got some residue. Yeah, look at that. Wow. I guess the name of the game is make sure you get this stuff really clean, guys. Because I obviously had some more cleaning to do. That's right. So, got our new seals. Went with Honda OEM seals this time, and dust boots. So, I don't know. Just wanted to change it up. No offense to the all balls ones, and that, you know what? Don't quote me on that. Those were all balls, because I think they were. I'm pretty sure they were, but who knows? It was a long time ago. But whatever seals they were supposed to be some superior stuff, and you know, they just seemed like they stopped. They didn't work very well, or they didn't do the job as long as I thought they would be. So, a piece of milk crate, milk carton. The guy that I watched the video on, this is what he did. Thought it was a pretty slick idea. I believe mine were all off, so I just slid everything down from the top. But he said you cut out a piece of milk carton, wrap it around, that way you don't tear your seal on this right here. This is pretty sharp. So this is the dust boot. So we're going to do this first. See if we can get this to work. Which, he was pretty good at it, and I guess I'm not going to be as good. That was pretty easy. Just kind of, it kind of catches the lip so it doesn't tear on here. I probably should have been the smarter man and put a little dab of oil on these before I started. And I know, getting it on my seal, but I know it's just a dust boot, but make everything run out nice and good and make it clean. So we will put the seals on and put the forks on. We want to have a nice coating of oil. You can use gear grease or whatever on these, I guess, what you want. Put that on there. Have our seal. Now, remember to do this in the right order, guys, because it would be just like me to do this in the wrong order. I'm going to just get a little bit of lube around here on the lip of the seal. Flat top edge. That's your top. So you can't see it on camera, but right below me here is everything that I took off of here in order of how I took it off, which is the dust seal, the metal ring, and then the two bushings that go here, just as a reference point to make sure that I don't screw this up, which, you know, I probably would if I wasn't staring right at it. So once again, our little milk carton thing, I probably cut this, probably shouldn't overlap. His really didn't overlap, but he said it needed to go all the way around so you could catch the lip of the seal, and I could probably trim a little bit more off of there and get a little bit tighter. Maybe I will. Alright. how that goes. Just got a little bit more off of there. Makes it a little slippery with the oil on there, but you know, we don't want to tear our seal surface. He did this so much easier. He made this look so easy on his video, boys and girls. So I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I'll slide it in there first. Flare this top. Oh yeah, look at that. Slide it in there first, flare it at the top, and look at that. Well, that was a hell of a lot easier. So, seals in. We got it on the... We did it the right way. All right. So, if you remember, we took this out. This is the ring that goes here. And then the two other, these are the old bushings. So these are brass actually. And I'll show you the comparison. You can see the wear, how much wear there is on these when we'll look at the new ones. And also this one. This one's got the Teflon coating, and I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's almost completely gone here. So, and that was causing us some problems. Now, on this, there's a curved side and there's a flat side. And I'm pretty damn sure when I watch the video, flat side goes up against your seal. Okay? I'm probably going to double check that and come back. Because the last thing you want to do is install something upside down and then have to go through this whole process again just to fix one thing. So stand by. Alright guys, I jumped off real quick to refer to the video about the bearing or the washer there. So the rounded side is going up. So our rounded side is going up against the bottom of the seal. The flat side is going against the bushings. So these are the new bushings. I don't know how well they're going to come out on video, but if you can see just how nice these are compared to what we took off, you can see a lot of wear on those. So I'm really glad I took the time to stop and get this taken care of. Yeah, still getting a little bit of goop out of there. I might have to run some more brake clean down in there. So anyway, we're going to put this on. This one goes up first. This one comes in behind it. Snaps into that groove. That one just sits on top. That sits on top of there. So basically, at this point, we're ready to put the tube back up and on. This little piece right here was in the bottom of the fork tube. Sits right on here. You got to make sure that you get this back in there, otherwise you're going to be missing parts. So your bolt comes up from the bottom down here, comes into here, goes through and bolts all this together. All right, drop this in, put this all together, and then we're going to bring it all together. But before I do that, I'm gonna one last flow through with that. Nice big blast of air to get everything out of there. Dry that up. That looks a lot better. I don't see any residue coming out of there. Got my lower, it's all cleaned up. Like I said, that goes in the bottom. All that comes up. Get your seal on. So, start this. Hopefully this isn't going to continue to fall off. So I watched the other video and the guy had 2 pieces of PVC that he put on here and hose clamped, and he just tapped the seal in place. I have an actual installer that I bought when I did this the first time around. So we're gonna see if this fancy piece of equipment will work for us. Basically comes in 2 halves. Put it all together, run this around, and now you have now, as he said, he rotated his around. Okay, so just kind of doing the same thing, and this is going to go down until you can see where the groove, where the snap ring is going to go in place. All right. Now this is a nice tool. It's actually made for the fork. It's made to do the job. And it works really well. And now I can see the groove for the snap ring. which lets me know that my seal is all the way down. So that, can't remember how much this cost. I got this thing quite a bit ago. It's actually magnetic, kind of holds itself together, and then you just spin the ring. It actually designed for doing exactly what I just did. So now we're going to do everything in the reverse order and put everything back together. I do have to look up how many ounces of oil goes back in the forks because I haven't got that done yet. So if you got to do this yourself, and you know, when you take it apart, you're laying everything out in the exact order, and then when you're going to put everything back together, you're putting everything back together hopefully in the same way that you took it apart. That's what I try to do, and I'll tell you what, I screw up a lot. I make a lot of mistakes. As you can see in my videos, I got to stop every 5 seconds and remind myself what I was supposed to do. But we're going to pause here so I can get some of this other stuff back together. So the dust seal is just going to go down in here. We're going to put all the springs and everything in. Probably what's going to be the difficult part, if I remember right, is putting the nut in and getting all that to line up at the bottom of the fork. It actually sits in this little groove. So luckily you can hear it rattling around in there, so you just kind of jiggle it until you get that screw to go into place. We'll put the new crush washers in the bottom for the seal and all that, and then we'll go from there. So the kit that I purchased and the kit that you'll probably have to purchase for this, it's going to be a basically a kit that does multiple applications. So basically what you're going to be doing is picking out the things that fit on your bike and fit for your application, and then the rest of the stuff is just basically throwaway. Just doing a little cleanup here. It's got a lot of grease and oil on it from the seals leaking, so I got a lot more cleanup to do on this once we're done, but thought I'd throw a little brake clean on this and get it spruced up before I get it in there. So this video is getting a little long, so I'm going to go ahead and jump off, and we'll pick this back up when get a little closer. All right, guys, got it all back together. I did some polishing on the front wheel, and pretty tough job. Made the mistake of putting some Napa wheel brightener or aluminum brightener on it first. That was a big mistake because it just wasn't designed for wheels that you want to polish out. So Napa aluminum brightener, the stuff works great, but if you're going to polish something out, don't use it. So we got the fork seals back on, we got everything back on, got the new tire. Everything is looking great. It's raining today, so not going to be able to go out for a test drive, but soon. Towels over the seat because the owner just came out and put some leather stuff on the seat. Wanted to protect it from getting dirty. So there you go. All finished up, all put back together. Got everything back together, worked out really well. And now we're on to the next project. Later.